Hi guys! So amazing to have you here. Welcome to a talk where we're going to discuss on how to get started as a UGC creator. So, are you ready to take your content to the next level? Let's dive right in. First things first, just a little quick intro to explain what I do and why you should even be listening to me. My name is Anya. I've been a social media manager for over 11 years now, and my gosh, that feels like such a long time if I say it out loud. Essentially, I started before social media was even truly popular. At the time, I was a digital nomad. I was traveling the world, and I did marketing and web design for a popular yoga teacher in Bali, which is where my base was. And then after a while, I decided to come back to the UK, and I started working for this great marketing agency. And then after that, I moved on to being a social media manager for retail and healthcare brands. There was Duell, which is part of DFS, but I've had many clients over the years in a wide variety of verticals, such as eBay, HCA Healthcare, which is the largest private healthcare in the country, Virtu, the luxury brand of Nokia, Trust Trader, which you may recognize from the annoying radio adverts. I swear I had nothing to do with those, and a host of others. So I've also been a content creator and an influencer too. I've got a mermaid influencer page called Enchanting Mermaid, and I regularly collaborate with brands by making UGC for them. So this is the reason I'm certain I can help you grow your UGC career, because I'm on both sides of the business. I understand what brands want and need, and I also see it from the perspective of the creator. So today I want to go into the UGC world in as much detail as I physically can, but I've only got about 20 minutes, so for those who really want to kickstart their UGC career, I've written a downloadable guide on how to become a successful UGC creator, which goes into a lot more detail than I'll have time for today. And if you stick around till the end, I'll give you a code so you can get a 20% discount on it. So I hope you'll stick with me. But if you can't stick around, just visit my new Instagram page that I recently set up specifically to give people tips and tricks on UGC and social media growth. And it's called @theUGCQueen. So yeah, you can find the link there. Anyway, let's begin. So what exactly is UGC anyway? Chances are you see it every day while scrolling through your Instagram and TikTok. It stands for user-generated content, which is content that is created by individuals rather than brands. So this can include anything from photos, videos, to blog posts. And UGC is a great way to showcase authentic and diverse voices that can add value to a brand, which is why it's in very high demand right now. No one wants to see polished marketing anymore. People want to see people just like them, which is why it's such a fantastic opportunity for literally anyone. There are no requirements on what you should look like, your follower numbers, where you're located. It doesn't matter. You won't be posting on your channels either, so you don't even need to have a following, which is probably one of my favorite things. UGC is easier to explain visually, so I've made a few examples. I've added a few examples for you of some photos and some videos so you can see. Now, there are a lot of ways that you can approach UGC, and it's up to you whether you have a specific niche or not. Some people, for example, choose to only shoot videos without their face in it, and that's totally cool. Though I will say that many brands do prefer someone's face in the videos. So anyway, let me show you a couple of examples. So this one is without my face, there's no talking, nothing, okay? That is supposed to have sound. I do apologize. I'm not sure why the sound isn't working. 1 second. Oh, after a few minutes of putting this video on pause and trying to figure out why the sound wasn't working, I've completely forgot that this client actually didn't require sound. So that's me being a bit... okay, there we go. So yeah, essentially this was a video that didn't need me to make any sound for it, no voiceovers, nothing. So this is what I gave it to the client. So that's that. And then this one is an example of obviously me in it. There's no voiceovers, but you can clearly see the product. You can see my face. It's more like a lifestyle traveling thing. Talking to the moon. Okay, and these other two are examples of photography UGC. So this one, again, you can clearly see the product in it and how I'm using it. And also it has my face in it, which people can relate to. And then here's an example of a photo without my face, which is actually, this is probably one of my very, very first shoots. This was from years ago. I cut probably at least 7 years. That was back when my old page was the Instagram banned. But anyway, So now that you've seen a few examples, how do you even start with this whole UGC thing? Well, I'm going to take you through a few of the key areas, and if you have any questions, just write to me on Instagram, and I'll try to get to them if I miss anything here, okay? So, first things first, learn about UGC. Research, research, and research. I cannot emphasize this enough. Don't jump into the water before you learn how to swim. And this is coming from a mermaid, okay? Brands can spot a new creator from a mile away, and trust me, you'll want to do it right if you're pitching to your favorite brands. Also, that's another tip I would give, is start pitching to brands that you don't really care about until you really know what you're doing. So, you've already taken the first step by watching this video, so give yourself a pat on the back. And I'm serious, do it right now. You deserve to celebrate yourself, because many people talk about wanting to do something, but you've actually taken a step towards your goal, and that is very telling. I am so proud of you, and I encourage you to continue this journey after today and read up more about the subject, or get a personal consultation to fast track your progress. I did the same when I started, and I saved myself months of stress and potential mistakes. So start by finding out what styles of UGC work best. Sorry, blanked out there for a minute. So that could be something like hook, problem, solution, CTA, or other types. There's so many of them. But that one particularly is very popular for ads, and yeah, highly recommend that's something that you read up on. Next, invest in good equipment. Now, I'm not going to go into too much of this right now, but I do have a list of recommended items in my UGC guide if you'd like to have a look later. So, once you've done your research, go find some inspiration. Have a look at other UGC creators, as well as brands that run ads on Meta or on TikTok. Have a look and see which video made you stop scrolling. Why? What do they do well? Make note of everything and use that knowledge when you're building your portfolio. And also make note of everything that you didn't like. That's also a good one. So, once you're done with that, it's time to start building your portfolio. Now, you probably already use Canva, but in case you don't, I honestly couldn't recommend it more. It's so easy to use, and it's very convenient because you can play videos directly from your presentation, which is, actually, I'm using Canva right now, so you saw me doing that a few slides ago. Yeah. I've seen some creators asking if Canva is professional enough to send to brands, and I can tell you that yes, it is definitely good enough. You can create your portfolio as a simple presentation, but I would recommend setting up a Canva website. It's free and it's really quite user-friendly. For optimal results, start your portfolio with a nice headshot and a brief summary about you and what makes you unique in terms of specialties. From there, dive into showcasing the power behind your work, because that's where brands will be focusing on most. And this should be on page 2 maximum, no lower. Okay? Don't explain what UGC is. This is honestly such a common mistake that I see creators make all the time. If a brand is already on your portfolio, they already know what UGC is, and it wastes valuable space. In fact, as a brand, it tells me that the creator may be new to the field if they write that in their portfolio, and then I kind of get a bit suspicious about it. Lastly, after your examples, add any additional details or accomplishments that you want to highlight to make your portfolio stand out. For example, statistics on how well a particular UGC video is performed, if you know the details, of course, logos of brands that you worked with, and things like that. Okay? How many videos do you need to build your portfolio? Well, there's no wrong answer here, but I would say a minimum of 6 and a handful of photos would be enough to get you started. To show a wide variety of skills, try the following. You might want to write this down. Unboxing and voiceover, a how-to video, a product review, so you speaking to the camera explaining something about it, something that looks like a clear ad that they can potentially see as being on Facebook and Instagram. That could be, for example, the hook, problem, solution, CTA style video, a get ready with me, and a digital product. Not everything you'll create content for will be physical, so think of apps, online courses, stuff like that. And what exactly should you be filming now? My recommendation is to find anything you have lying around the house that's relatively new, or if maybe you've just recently been shopping and haven't opened the boxes yet. You do not need to approach brands and do gift exchanges just to build your portfolio. I have, honestly, you can 100% make do with the products you've already got, but I've got a lot of people that reach out to me as a brand and say, hey, I'm just building up my portfolio, can you do a gift exchange? As a brand, obviously, it's good for me, but it doesn't really do you any good. Like you can still use any product that you have around the house. So anyway, are you ready for my secret tip? This one honestly makes a world of a difference. The vast majority of creators make their portfolios all about beauty and fashion, and they only search for beauty and fashion clients. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but there's a lot of competition in that world, like a lot. And sadly, a lot of brands also take advantage of creators in that space and only offer them product exchanges. It's certainly nice to receive some products, but a £5 face mask isn't exactly going to pay the bills, is it? So, my tip here is to search for clients in a wider variety of niches and don't shy away from things like finance and insurance and things that sound a bit boring. For me, it was, sorry, got messed up in my head here, but yeah, so for me it was things like finance and insurance, which I personally find boring, but I quickly came to realize that finance clients are actually the ones that paid me the most. And generally I don't like to talk about how much I make, but to give you an example, just before Christmas last year I made $8,000 from a venture capital client, and it paid for an amazing holiday to the Caribbean like a month later. So whereas most beauty clients that reach out to me try to offer me like £80 for a video that I usually reject. So, moving on from portfolio, let's talk about legal contracts. This isn't exactly the sexy part of the talk, but it's essential to cover all your bases when it comes to UGC. Make sure you have a comprehensive legal contract in place that details who owns the content, what compensation you'll receive, how many edits are allowed, and how is the brand allowed to use your content. Honestly, no job is too small for a contract. Well, unless you're taking a picture that doesn't really have your face in it that you don't really care about. Those I usually skip. But imagine you do a big job that's got your face, it's a video, and you don't sign a contract, and then you spot your face all over a billboard 10 years down the line for a hemorrhoid cream. I mean, no one wants that, right? And now I paid a lawyer who specializes in UGC to get her template, and it's honestly been the best investment I ever made. She thinks of everything. Just last week, she sent me an email saying that she updated her template to include the use of AI, which is crazy. I mean, apparently, brands can now use AI to edit your content and essentially keep making more and more videos from your original footage without paying you anything extra. I mean, that's mind-blowing to me. I would have never thought of adding a clause like that into my contract, but I'm so glad that I have that protection now. So yeah, if you want that footage, that template, just message me on Instagram and I'd be happy to share a link with you. Or actually, let me show you. If you go onto my Instagram page, if you click on my website here, that will take you to my little well, it's not a link tree, but similar. And here you have the UGC contract template. So you just click on this little bit. I've got a little promo code to get you 10% off. So yeah, you can find it there. Let's go back to presenting. Okay, and now for the part that probably interests you the most: how to price your content and how to find clients. And not just clients, but clients that actually pay. All right. You're probably wondering, how much money can you make as a UGC creator? Well, there isn't really a one-size-fits-all answer. Depending on your niche, your level of experience, and the brands that you're working with, and of course how much time and energy you're willing to put into it, the possibilities are endless. I personally advise you to quote your clients at least £150 for an organic video, and then put usage rights on top of that. That is fair compensation for the time and effort that you'll be putting into the work. So imagine if you have even just one client a week, okay? One client that just wants one organic video. And most of the time they'll want to run ads, so this is like basic, right? That will make you an extra £600 a month. That's just 4 clients, okay? And the videos are probably about 15 seconds long. If you were to do this full time, you could make as much as 5 or 10 or even more a month. That's 5 or 10,000 pounds. I don't do UGC full time, but I do know creators that make 6 figures a year just from doing UGC alone. So it's definitely possible with the right skills, industry knowledge, and commitment. So now, how do you find brands to work with? It's actually easier than you might think, but it can be time consuming. Start by scrolling through social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram. If you come across a brand that is utilizing UGC content, just send them a DM. Many of these brands partner with UGC creators, making them an ideal target for pitching. When you message them, though, ask for their marketing emails, as chances are the person who's responding to the DMs isn't responsible for the marketing. There are also other avenues, such as Twitter, freelance websites. There's a host of different apps, such as Vamp or Tribe, and of course, Facebook groups. I have a full list of resources in my guide that I'm sure will help. And I've also just recently launched a Facebook group for UGC creators in the UK and Europe, since so many of them are in the US. So you guys are welcome to join that too, and that will be on the link in my Instagram. And as a little extra tip, you could also try looking into local companies. They also require UGC content, and this is a great way to gain some experience while getting your name out there. And if you're interested in social media marketing too, that may be a great way to get your foot in the door. Small local companies often need the help, and I've made some great clients that way, honestly. And that brings us to the end of our presentation. I hope you found it useful. There is so much more that I wanted to share with you, as UGC is a vast and interesting subject. So if anyone wants any further information or guidance, there's a few services that I can offer. You can obviously connect with me on Instagram at the UGC Queen, and I'd be happy to connect with you all. And I also promised a little special treat for you if you reach till the end. So I am offering a 10% discount on my UGC guide to anyone who's taken, anyone who's watched this video. The guide has over 66 pages, and it goes into a lot more depth on the topics we discussed today. And it even includes several brand pitching templates, a list of resources where you can find clients, etc. Actually, let me show you a little preview. So this is the, why can't I scroll down? I think because I'm filming, it's going a bit slow. But yeah, so this is the guide itself. There is so much there, honestly. Like anything you could possibly need as a UGC creator, you can find in this guide. And to find it, all you need to do is, again, just pop onto my Instagram, click on the link, and it will be the second link down here. And you just use the code digital20 to claim your 20% discount off. Or you can also just send me a DM on Instagram, and I'll send you all the details. Okay. Well, thank you so much. It's time now to go out there, create, and watch your UGC career soar. Thanks again, and yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I'm here to help.